All right, MrSotko here, and welcome back to another Starcraft 2 replay cast. And today it is game number 7 of the grand finals of the 2015 Winter Dreamhack. And since it is game number 7, that means both of these players are tied up with 3 wins each. So whoever wins this game will win the tournament. The first place gets $20,000, and second place gets $10,000, so not too bad indeed. We have our red protest player PartinG, and up top we have our blue Zerg player Solar. And we are going to go ahead and speed this on up. We have a very close spawn this game, and the protest player is spotted right off the bat. And with this Overlord sees what's going on, and by this Overlord being here, PartinG knows where his opponent is too. And now 2 gateways coming up here, and Cybernetics Core. And is he going to go with a quick Zealot to hold off this area or not? We have 2 expansions coming up for the Zerg player as usual, and the spawning pool. And we'll see what he decides to get, getting 2 adepts right off the bat to go after his opponent, and that Warp Gate research. Robo Bay, pretty early Robo Bay indeed. Now coming out for the Protoss player. And doesn't look like an early expansion either by the Protoss. Looks like he's going straight for going for the throat here. And an additional 2 adepts now coming out as well. And so now ghosting along, getting up there a little bit faster, and makes him get across the map just a little bit faster. And we'll see if this is if this is defendable or not. Looks like he has 2 more coming as well. So as soon as those 2 more come, there'll be quite a bit of damage. A spine crawler is being created. This was all spotted by these overlords that were in the base here. So he knows that multiple adepts are on the way, so he's creating a spine crawler here, and that's going to hold off some of these adepts quite a bit here. Now ghosted straight into the main of the base, but got instantly surrounded there. That was really, really nice by Solar to instantly surround those 2 adepts, and now Probe running away, running back on home, and these 2 adepts decided that it wasn't a good idea to attack, so they're just going to stay home for a little while. 2 additional adepts now being created, and a warp prism. So these 2 adepts here going to stay back just a little bit, going to kill this Zergling, and then they're going to use this warp prism to get to the Zerg base. But here is an Overlord spotting what's going on here, so he knows exactly what's going on. This warp prism's going to come out, he's going to spot it, and he's going to know that it's just going to be carrying these adepts right off. And he did that mighty quick, but it's just not going to be enough. Now the warp gates are up and running here, and we'll see what he decides to get here. And so now dropping off of those 2 adepts here, warping in additional adepts, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. Just doesn't have enough resources here. And those adepts ghost by, and the Zerglings are following him. And there they go, they pop up in the expansion, but it's going to be a bit too much. And now those adepts getting some kills in, but it really was not worth it. Didn't kill enough so far. We'll see the units lost 537 from the Zerg, and PartinG lost 750. So far that was not a very good engagement. Now additional adepts coming in. He's just really relying on these adepts, and so far it's just really not working. So if he's going to change up his strategy, it would be best to do it now. And now tons of adepts are out on the field. I don't even know how many adepts is that. 10 adepts are out on the field against quite a bit of Zerglings, though. 38 Zerglings, so I don't think 10 adepts can take out 38 Zerglings. They're definitely going to get overwhelmed here pretty quick, and now going to try and ghost away there and try and get into the main base, and I think that's exactly what they're going to do. Some of them did make it, 4 of them made it, and I'm going to try and take out some of these drones here, but just not enough. And so losing out here pretty quickly. The Protoss really racking up the lost resources, 1,750 to the Zerg's 1,187. And now it looks like a counterattack coming from Solar, as he has plenty of Zerglings to do so. And now going to destroy his own pylon, and that is not a good idea. I don't know if he knows that this many Zerglings are on the way. Looks like this warp prism was spotted here, but it's filled with sentries, which is sort of odd. So he's going to drop these sentries, and he's going to warp in some units along with those sentries. picks him up, takes him back here, stops all of those Zerglings there on the other side. Not too bad of a play there, but totally surrounded by drones, and actually getting destroyed here by the Queen and drones. And those Zealots there, not going to be enough. There's so many Zerglings, and even more Zerglings now even be called in. So he just needs, it needs a ton more Zealots to deal with those Zerglings. At least a dozen Zealots to deal with the amount of Zerglings that are on the map here. 49, now 51 on the map, and soon to be even more. Now dealing with these Zealots here, crushes those. And now here comes the counterattack again, sending down some of them, keeping some at the base though. And now Immortals, Adepts, and Sentries. Again, just a very awkward combination to deal with all these Zerglings. I just don't see how that's a very good idea. The Immortals not good at Zerglings at all. Sentries do okay, of course, because of the force fields. And Adepts, while they do pretty good damage to light, as you can see, 23 damage to light. Again, Zealots are always the better choice in terms of just holding out against a bunch of Zerglings. The Zealot can easily take on quite a bit of Zerglings by himself, so just warping in tons of Zealots would be a good idea, as they're just so hardy and do so much damage with their double attacks. And we have the Immortals in here, but again, the Immortals pretty much useless. They only do 20 damage to these Zerglings, and their attack is rather slow. So a very awkward last game for PartinG right now, and I don't know if he's going to be able to take this game or not. He's going to have to change up his strategy for sure. These two Immortals, again, very strange. It would have been he would have been way better off making lots of Zealots rather than Immortals or the Adepts. And now completely and utterly surrounded there by Zerglings. And Solar still working on his economy here, now bringing up the other hatchery, but he's been having to produce so many Zerglings that he hasn't really had too much time to be producing drones. Even his first natural there is not fully saturated, and now going after these troops here. Sentry and Immortal has been caught in the back here, but the Immortal is stuck behind force fields, which is good, but it's still not going to be enough. And now Zerglings are attacking the main base of the Protoss player here, and slowly taking out the warp gate's going to warp in an Adept right behind the way here, and just slowly peck away at them, but he's going to lose that warp gate there. GG's, and leaving Solar the winner of the 2015 Winter Dreamhack. So Solar wins $20,000. PartinG takes half that, $10,000. So that was game number 7, and I hope you guys enjoyed the replay, and I will see you guys next time.